Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be making something really special and super duper cute. As most of you guys know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and my sweet mom, it's actually her birthday today, and she is 13 or 14 years cancer free. I can't remember exactly how many years, she's gonna kill me. But I thought it would be super fun to make her a cute little breast cancer wreath for her birthday. I've made her a couple other wreaths. I know she has a Halloween one and a Christmas one for sure. She loves having these wreaths up in her house, so I thought this would be perfect. Dollar Tree right now actually has the ribbon form, wreath form, or whatever you want to call it. So I was like, this is perfect. I grabbed that, and then I went to grab the mesh. I don't know if you guys are gonna have trouble, but I was having such a hard time finding pink mesh. They had Halloween colors, they had Christmas colors, for crying out loud, but I could not find pink. I was able to find two. So I went to 5 Dollar Trees, found the 2 pink ones, and then I could only find white. So I ended up getting 3 of the white ones, and I would really prefer to have 6 of the little mesh things, but I was only able to find 5, so fingers crossed that it looks okay. But if you're able to find 6, I would definitely go with 6. And then I was also looking for a little sign that said hope or something like that. Like, I feel like they always have stuff like that, but then when I'm looking for it, I can't ever find it. So I ended up having to use my Cricut to make the little sign, but I think it turned out so cute. If you guys don't have a Cricut, there's so many ways you could do it. You could still use the same little piece of wood I used, and you could like just get different letters or stencils even. There's so many other ways, but I am gonna show you guys how I did this using my Cricut. If you guys are new, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button, and let's get into this video. All right, so you're gonna need this little ribbon wreath from Dollar Tree, and then I picked up this little wood piece from Dollar Tree too. We're gonna cut it a little bit as well. And then, like I said, I picked up 5 of these mesh packages, and if you could find 6, that would be even better. And then I did buy these flowers, and I ended up not using them. And then you're also going to need a little template to cut your mesh. So the first thing I'm gonna do is start cutting this piece of wood. I wanted to cut off the little spot where it was hanging. And so I'm sure I could have used something a little bit better, but I'm just using this tool. And then I'm kind of cutting off the sharp corners on the edge, and then I'm just gonna sand them up a little bit to smooth the edges. And now I'm gonna take a little bit of my white chalk paint, and I'm just going to paint this little wood piece. And I did use about 3 coats to get it to be completely covered with white. I'm going to take that little template that I made using foam board, and I'm just going to kind of put it right there on the mesh, and then that shows how much I need to cut. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat this process for every single little mesh package. And I honestly don't know how many pieces you're going to get, but you're going to have a ton. So once those are all cut out, you are going to get some pipe cleaners, and I'm cutting them into thirds because now you're going to be taking bunches of 3 or 4. Originally, I started out with 4, and then I realized, you know what, I better do 3 since I only have 5 packages of mesh. So you're just going to roll them up like this and put them in a little bundle of 3 or 4, like I said, and then you are going to tie them together with the little pipe cleaner. And then you're just going to set these aside and do the same thing for the rest of the mesh pieces, and then we will start adding them to the wreath. Now, once you have all of those ready, you can start putting them into the wreath, and you just kind of slide the one side into that, like one side, and then put the rest of the little mesh pieces on the other side. And it just depends on how you want it to look. I'm kind of doing 2 things of white and then 1 of pink, or since I have more of the white. So you just want to kind of space them out however you like how it looks. And then I'm just kind of pushing them down as I go. And this one is a little bit trickier than a regular wreath because it has like that little middle part of the ribbon. So it's kind of tricky to get them to lay right. But just kind of keep stuffing those mesh pieces in there, and then once it gets all filled up, it's easier to work with. So you're just going to continue that for the rest of the wreath. Now, once they're all in, you may need to go through and move some pieces. My top part wasn't quite as full as I wanted it to be, so I ended up moving some of the pieces that were going to be covered with that wood piece, and I replaced them up at the top just because you're not going to see it when the wood piece is glued on there. And now we are going to go over to my computer and work on our Cricut part. So I'm in Cricut Design Space, and first I'm going to make a little template the size of the little wood piece. I do this with everything just so I can see exactly how it's going to look on the actual piece that it's going on. So you're just going to make the template that size, and then of course I like to change it to the white just because that's what I'm going to be working with. Now, originally I had gone in and I went to text and I just typed in Survivor and I tried to find a font I liked. I did not like any of them. So I forgot to even go to the images. So I went into images and typed in breast cancer, and there are a ton of things that popped up. Now, most of these are better for like a portrait sheet, like a portrait, whatever. And the thing I need is more landscape because it's like a small little that wood piece. So I just kind of kept scrolling, and I did actually find one that I really liked. So this Survivor one, go ahead and click on that and add that to your canvas, and I'm just kind of spacing it out so that it'll fit right on there. And once I get the ribbon the size that I want, I'm going to reattach these all together and then change it to a pink color because I'm doing all one color. I'm not doing a different colored ribbon. So I'm just going to this part is totally not necessary, but I just like to get an idea of what we're working with. So this is about the color of the vinyl that I'm going to be using. So once you get that all set, you're going to go to make it, and then this is what it's going to look like on your mat. And then the material I'm using is actually an iron-on. It's a glitter iron-on. So I searched for iron and then went to glitter, and then you are going to want to make sure that the mirror is on because like I said, this is an iron-on. So, and I always like to hit more just because I feel like it cuts out so much better. So once you get all of your settings ready, you're going to hit make it. And then now this is my Cricut doing its work, and once it's all finished, I'm going to take it off, and I'm just cutting. You can't even see the lettering right now. It's so hard to see on this, but I'm just cutting it a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to start weeding it. And this stuff actually is really easy to weed. I really like working with this material. It's, like I said, a glitter iron-on, and I think it's made for the small Cricut. Like, what is the little one called? The Cricut Joy or something like that. And so it's tiny, but I love this stuff. So I'm just going to start weeding it, and then we will iron it onto the wood. All right, now that that's all finished, I'm going to set this on top of my little wood piece that is completely dry now. And I'm just using my regular iron. You're going to want to make sure there's no water in your iron. Make sure the steam setting is off and turn it up as high as it'll go. Now, since this is wood, I don't want to use too much heat because I don't want it, I don't know. I don't think I've ever used it on wood before. So I'm just kind of going like small little sections, and I'm going really slow, and you just want to go back and forth really slowly. And it honestly didn't take that much heat. I was kind of shocked that it really didn't take a whole lot to get it to stick. So once you get all that heat going, then you can start peeling it off. This is how it turned out. I think it looks so cute. So now I'm just going to hot glue this onto the wreath, and it took me a while to figure out where exactly I was going to place it. I couldn't figure out if I should do it like in the top or the center, but first I'm going to take a little bit of twine, and this is going to be the hanger. So just take a little bit of twine, tie it in a little knot, and then that will be what you hang it on. Now, originally I wasn't going to put lights on it, but I found these old little snowman lights that I had bought for Christmas a couple years ago. And these things, like the snowmen fall off. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use these. So I ended up untangling them and then taking all of the little snowmen off. And then I put this onto the wreath. So you're just going to kind of weave it in throughout the wreath so that it's going to stay put. And then I'm going to take the little battery pack and tuck it in like behind the sign. I'm just going to kind of tuck it through the opening part of the wreath and then glue it right on there. And then that is how it looks. I think it looks so pretty and so magical, and I think my mom is going to absolutely love it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a great day and we will see you soon. Bye!